Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, weekend hunters of all ages, it's Shawn. Welcome back. It is Saturday, December 2nd, here in Missouri. It's a little after 5 o'clock. I'm headed to the private property that is 5 minutes from my house. I can only hunt Saturday morning. My weekend's busy. If you're a fellow weekend hunter, you know how life gets. It's been crazy. We've had sickness run through our house this week, so we've been battling respiratory stuff. I cut my finger last week, slicing up, quartering up my dough like a goober, and got an infection in that finger, and so I've been battling that. And then on top of that, on my bow shoulder, my left shoulder, I've done something to my shoulder. It's not right, and so I've dealt with some weakness there, and I haven't been able to shoot the bow. So we'll see if I can get something pulled back, let alone pull myself up in a tree this morning to go. But it's been an active morning so far in the woods, according to what my wife has sent me. She's on her way to work, and she's seen like 6 or 8 deer just along the road she takes to work. So it seems like they're up, they're moving, they're on their feet, and I am headed to that private property. So let's go. Without further ado, let's go, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, it is after 11 o'clock. I have pulled out of the woods, got everything down. I'm standing on the property owner's driveway here, and I kind of looked on my way out to see where the deer came from, because they all came from that one location. And so you can see my truck here, and I was back that way, more it kind of goes down and then up. I was back that way, and the deer came from right here. And so I started looking, and if you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that well, but that is in the fence where the deer are coming through. There's one there, so there, and there's one there. So literally where I parked, I could have just hunted out of the back of my truck. Obviously not, but it's so funny yet so frustrating. It looks like they kind of cross right through this trail and then head back up the property up there. So anyways, like I said, it's 11 o'clock. I'm out of here. Let me finish loading my truck up, and I'll get back with you. All right. That was perhaps, oh, there I go again with the baldness. That was perhaps one of the most frustrating hunts I've ever had. I was in the right spot, but my stand, I could have positioned my platform a little bit more to the left, and so I could have had the tree in between between me and where those deer were coming from, because ultimately what was happening was the branch that was kind of sticking off of the tree, I couldn't see around it. I couldn't see the deer that were coming from the road. And so by the time I saw them, they were right on top of me or underneath me. The first doe, I saw her, she was in the opening there to my right. I grabbed my bow, turned the camera on, looked back at her, she's behind trees. She never comes back. Second doe was doing my scripture reading because the ground was so quiet. She snuck up on me, came straight in at me. I kind of just picked my head up. She saw some movement, so she was on alert. She came around a little bit more, and she was going to present a great broadside shot. And, I don't know how much of this is going to be was on camera for her. I rotated over on the platform, and it creaked, so she took off out of there. And then the last little bit of action that you guys saw was the doe and her yearling coming in. There was a little 6-pointer pushing him, and he kind of stayed to the top of the camera lens. I was never able to adjust it to look at him just due to the doe and the yearling being right around me. I mean, she came right up. Both of them came right up to the base of the tree. They came under the view of the camera. That's how close. I mean, yeah, it was crazy. And she saw the straps. Like, she looked at the tree because she was right underneath me. So I saw her, and she was just kind of looking up. And then finally she's like, yeah, I don't like this. And so she took off out of there. And then for 10 minutes or so, she just kind of circled me in and out. And then finally she came back over to the right side. I had already crossed over with my bow when she had went behind a tree. And so now she started to come behind this other tree. And I go back to draw up my shoulder, my good old shoulder. Couldn't handle, at that angle, it could not handle holding the bow as I drew back with my other arm. And so it had a good shake to it. That was all, she caught that out of the corner of her eye, something. And I mean, she took off out of there. And I never saw her again. A little bit later, did have a little spiky boy come by. He came actually to the left side, and I was considering shooting at him. I couldn't get the camera around the tree, so I kind of had it on me, but there was nothing worth showing there. I thought about shooting him, decided not to, and it's a good thing I wasn't dead set on shooting him, because I kind of stepped back and set, and the platform squeaked again. And he didn't scare away, but he just kind of turned around and walked off the other way. It was definitely a fun morning, definitely exciting. And then on the way out, you saw that rub. Yeah, massive rub. I hunted here once earlier in the year, and I had seen it. It wasn't that big. So that buck is still working that over. I brought my trail camera. I was going to set my trail camera out, and then I went to turn it on, and I realized it was the one that doesn't have batteries. So I probably should have checked that last night. This morning, just this hunt was the most frustrating hunt ever. It was definitely encouraging to see that action. Just would have been nice to let an arrow loose. I have 3 tags, 1 antlerless deer, 2 any deer, and those 2 any deers can both be bucks. So here's hoping. Anyways, I have rambled for way too long. Thanks for watching Weekend Hunter. Remember, it's more than a channel name, it's a lifestyle. Smash that like and subscribe button so you can get notified of more videos like these. I'll see you next time.